And swing your partner round and round, I'm deaf in one ear, I'm deaf in one ear. Swing your partner round and round, I'm deaf in one ear, I'm deaf in one ear. I put a Q-tip in my ear because I wanted to clean my ear. Do-si-do, round and round, I pushed some wax all around. Now I can't hear out this ear, I forget which one it is. My balance is off, my balance is off. Swing your partner round and round, even though they're gonna get all dizzy because they got vertigo because they put a Q-tip in their ear and now they can't hear out that ear. Swing your partner round and round. I can't hear out of this ear. I can't hear out of this ear. I made the egregious mistake of trying to Q-tip my ears. Because sometimes, sometimes it gets all cloggy in there. And you go, uh-oh. When you your ear itches, so you scratch it like this on the outside. And then you move something around, and just like that, you say, oh no. Well, I just moved something into the ear hole, and now I'm only ever going to be able to hear in mono, not stereo. There goes my ability to listen to things in stereo now. I might as well buy single ear pods. Do they sell single ear pods? Do I have to buy them in pairs? Can I just buy one? Because now I'm deaf in one ear because I got an itch and I scratched it. And so sometimes you take a Q-tip and you go, let me just have a little twist around in there. Even though people warn you, they say don't use a Q-tip, they say. But you say, nah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure this one time it'll be okay if I just Q-tip one time. And then you do, and it makes it worse. Listen, this is the other... Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to tell you guys a little something about me that may or may not make you comfortable, but it's honest. And I'm the realest one there is. You remember when I said that? It's still true. It'll always be true. I'm the realest one out there. And so, I'm a wax producer. What does that mean, Alval? Good question. My father told me that in this life, there are two types of people. There's regular people, and there's wax producers. And wax producers produce a lot of earwax. I don't know if I might be one of those wax producers, because I got a clounch on the regular. Now you say, Algus, Avagus, what is this clounching that you speak of? Well, check this out now. It's a word I made up. It's a word I made up for the activity of, you take this, what is it? It's like saline solution. You buy it at the store. You buy it at the pharmacy. You buy it at your local alchemist. And then you do a couple drops, 5 or so drops in your ear. And then you lay on your side for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5. You let the thing dissolve. It feels really weird. You got wet in your ears. Nobody likes wet in their ears. Everyone likes a dry ear. But your ear is wet, and that's no fun. And so you sit there praying with your ear to the gods, full of wet, and it's gross and it feels bad. And then you take a little turkey baster thing that comes with the little kit, and you fill it with fresh water, and you go, and you blast the ever-living Jesus out of your ears. And then the wax comes out, presumably, usually, and, you feel like an archaeologist because you've unearthed some beautiful amber that you could hang on some jewelry. It looks like... one time I clounched my ear. So that's what I call it. The activity is called clounching. I just made that word up when I was a kid just because it's a automatopoeia, because it goes clounch, and then you clean out your ears. And listen, when you do that, I mean, there's no better feeling, because afterwards you're like, I can hear colors. I can hear the turning of the wheel of time itself. Do I have a space between my teeth? It might be all the red wine I drank at dinner today. Are my teeth red? They might be. Maybe it's this lighting. This lighting's really accentuating the spaces in between my teethers. So anyways, clounching, and you clounch, and then you could hear the spinning of the wheels of time. You can hear colors. You can, if you listen close enough, you could listen to your ancestors calling you, and they're saying, you got too much wax. That's what they said. Enjoy not having wax. And it's a great feeling. And when I was a kid and I would clounch, when I had a fresh clounch on, baby, there was no stopping me. I would run through the house. I would just take off sprinting around the house because the wind would whoosh against my ears after a fresh clounch. And it was just such a great feeling. I felt like I was one with God. God, there was something I wanted to say about clounching too. I know Q-tips are not good for your ears, and I don't like them. It always makes it worse before it makes it better. So I don't know why I do them. It's a temporary solution until I can find some time and privacy to clounch. It's a very intimate thing. It's a very intimate time of my life. It's me time, where I get to clounch my ears. And it's refreshing. There's a purity. There's a starting anew. I get some sweet amber out of it that I sell to a local antique roadsman. There's a guy with a carriage that comes by every Saturday, and I give him my wax. And he's like, "Oh, this is a good crop." Sometimes he's like, "Wow, where did you get this?" And I'll be like, "It's amber. I got it along the Baltic Sea coast." And he'll be like, "Oh." And then he'll hang it on some jewelry and sell it to an 86-year-old Lithuanian woman for $2,000. It's a racket. It's a racket I got. It's a racket I got from clounching. So there you go. For all you clounchers out there, sound off. I want to know who else clounches. I want to know who else is shoving turkey basters in their ears and getting fantastic results. Raise, show of hands, who else can hear the wheel of time? As of right now, as of this taping, it is Thanksgiving Sunday in Canada. It is October 8th, which is Thanksgiving is tomorrow, October 9th in Canada. A day in which we celebrate the colonizers. Jacques Cartier. Wow, I was about to get really mad that I didn't remember. Jacques Cartier, hailed as the discoverer, the head colonizer of Canada. Good old Cartier. What a good guy. All those colonizers were such good guys. They were all such good guys. So yeah, have you clounched? When was the last time you clounched? Is this just a me thing? I really wish I knew anyone. I was going to say I wish I knew more people who clounch. It's just me and my sister who clounch. Sorry to call her out, throw her under the bus, but it's just me clounching away and my sister. And I don't have to clounch often. I clounch every 2 to 3 months, but it gets blocked up in there, and I stop being able to hear that well. So you guarantee your ass I'm gonna be doing it after this. Anyways, that's a lot of talk about clounching. I'll admit I'm a little frazzled, because this I won't go into great length. Oh my god, that's a scary video. There's a girl in a chair. Horror girl. Horror girl. All right, I'll just get off your phone. Where do I start? There's two things I want to talk about. Number one, I'm just going to vent about this real quick. We'll keep it quick. But I do get the occasional gentleman in my DMs, and I get the occasional. Sometimes there are sort of phases where a gentleman will find, and I'll be generous, but these people tend to be maybe a little bit more on the wholesome side. That's the thing. So I'll call it's a gentleman. There will be a gentleman who takes a fancy to me online. There'll be a gentleman who takes a little fancy of me online, right? And what he'll do is he will make his intentions known, not in any kind of salacious, triple X way. He will try to flirt with me or say some compliment in my comments. A reply guy is what sometimes they're called, where like every post that you put up, some kind of thing underneath with flowers and like, oh, I wish I was there with you. I wish I could marry you. Wholesome but persistent, you know? And I posted a picture a month and a month and a half now ago, in which it was just a cute selfie I took in the kitchen, and there was a toaster in the background, and I didn't know how to caption it, so I did some joke about how, hey, it's me and the toaster hanging out. Classic duo, man. We've had some adventures, me and this guy. We go way back. And so one of my reply guys, who has been desperately trying to grab my attention and elicit a response from me, even though I'm not particularly interested, it's nothing personal, I'm just not, there's nothing there. And that's okay. That's okay, Algis, Avagis. It's okay to not be attracted to every stranger who leaves roses under your fucking photos, girl. Come on. This guilt complex. Anyways, so this is the point I'm getting to. So after under every comment after that for the past like month and a half, it's been all about the toaster. What started out as an innocuous, just a simple, silly, stupid, half thought up, improvised caption about a toaster. Now, this guy, ever since that picture, he was like, well, I'm jealous of the toaster. Which, okay, that's funny. But every photo since then has been like, is the toaster there? Oh, am I going to have to fight your toaster? This guy has not left the toaster thing alone for 40 days. Everything is about his jealousy for this toaster. Leave the fucking toaster alone. You know? So finally, I think I posted a story or something about somebody saying hey and me saying hey and them saying hey again. And so I screenshotted it and posted. I was like, yes, the sophisticated dance of courtship, the art of conversation. Making fun of this, this exchange. And this guy was like, oh yeah, at least the toaster got a response. And he's not wrong. And this is the thing. In the end, I had to be upfront with him, because I forgot to leave this out. We had a conversation a long time ago in which it just didn't go anywhere. So I did give him a half chance. And I respond to too many people in my DMs. I give too many chances, to be fair. I'm so full of guilt that I think every person who messages me, what if they're nice? What if they're a good person? I ought to give them a chance. But there's only so much time in the day. There's only so much bandwidth. And most of you, not most of you, I shouldn't say, but most of the people who start out with hey are fucking creeps. You're creeps. Creepy men who just want, how long is your tongue? I got that the other day. Somebody said, can I ask you a question? I go, it's always, you're never going to like what comes next. It's never good what comes next. So I said, okay, if it's not about my genitals, shoot. And he went, how long is your tongue? I was like, read the fucking room. If I didn't want you to ask about my genitals, I probably I'm not too keen on you asking how long my fucking tongue is. It's not like I was like, yeah, you can ask me anything, just not about my genitals. And then you'd be like, how long is your tongue? And I would be like, oh, thank God. I have been waiting for somebody to ask. Let me take a quick video. There you go. Now you just saw how long my tongue was. But what makes you think my initial response saying, okay, as long as it's not about my genitals, are you that dull that I need to be more specific? Is there not enough implication in me saying, okay, just don't ask about my genitals? Isn't there an implication in there that's like, don't be weird, don't make it sexual, don't ask some invasive question? Even though length of tongue, maybe he's a biologist. Maybe he's gathering data. I highly doubt it. I'm not going to give him that much goodwill and benefit of the doubt. But, yeah, how long is your tongue is not an innocent question. Anyways, I digress. So this guy has just been obsessed with it in a jealous, obsessive rage against this toaster that I seemingly hang out with all the time. And so finally I had to be like, listen, man, I'm going to be honest, it's not working out. And he took it like a champ. And he was like, well, all right then. I wish you all the best. I will unfollow you now. And this is, I recognize this behavior. And I'm calling it out. This is me calling myself out straight up. Because I'm the realest one there ever was. I had a pang of guilt. And part of it, I'm not gonna lie, it was a shallow clout association thing. Losing a fan, I take that personally. Losing a follower, it's pathetic, and I have to explore this. I have to get over this, because this is, as I'm saying these words, I so resent this about myself. This isn't healthy, and I don't like it, and I'm not endorsing this kind of behavior, but at least I'm identifying it, and I'm calling it out for what it is, which is the first step to change. So I got a pang of guilt that not only, number one, was I like, oh, I just lost a follower. I could have just tolerated all the toaster stuff for years. I could have tolerated the toaster thing. This guy could be toaster guy for the next little while. But he handled it like such a gentleman, and the bar is so desperately low that as soon as he was like, well, all right then, I wish you the best, goodbye, good day, I was like, wait, come back. Maybe you have a shot again. That I wonder indicates if there is something wrong with me here, you know? And if this is one of the things that's going to make me lonely for the rest of my days. Someone once called me out on that. I gave a guy a chance from the internet. We had a phone conversation. I didn't feel particularly compelled. There wasn't anything inherently off-putting or wrong about it. It just wasn't compelling to me. I didn't feel a spark. Can we just call it that sometimes? I didn't feel a spark with this mystery man. But I gave him a chance. Who else do you know is gonna give a rando a chance on the phone, talk with them for an hour, just because the alternative is rejecting somebody who could very well be a nice person? This guilt complex makes me go out of my way to do some pretty time-consuming things. Anyways, so, you know, it's probably a people-pleasing need in me to be like, no, wait, come back, you're nice. You actually respect my boundaries. Yeah. But the guy that I did talk on the phone with and then gently let down, basically, after that, accused me of being lonely. He prognosticated that I would be lonely forever because I didn't give him a chance. He accused me of, he kind of did a little bit of slut shaming where he was like, you told a story about porn guy in your one episode, You almost went out with a porn guy, and yet you won't give me a chance. And it was like, I think I'm perfectly well in my rights to say go fuck yourself in that situation, aren't I? I don't know. I think I am. Shouldn't I be? Listen, dating is it's hard, to put it simply. Dating while trans, harder, impossible mode. But dating while trans, while in the comedy industry, while growing a fan base. I'm not famous by any means, but I'm public facing. That's the word I'm looking for. Very public facing. Public life. That I'm fucking dating on impossible mode. And so that's why I give all these randos a chance, the ones who don't ask me how long my fucking tongue is. And then it goes nowhere because in the end, I still have my own tastes and my own standards. And I need to be stimulated mentally. I need banter. I need witticisms. And then beyond that, I'm just as shallow as every other fuck in the world. So I have my physical things that just don't attract me or do, you know? God. Okay, that was supposed to be a quick rant. It wasn't. This is the rant I want to get my teeth into. I'll sit up. That felt disrespectful, laying down like that. I'm sorry I laid down. Check this out. So, okay, I gotta be further back though. Knee up, because we lounging here. Lounge Dragon. Hey, look up Lounge Dragon. Alval. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Every once in a while I have to bring this up. It's good. Oh, I should post it on social media. Lounge Dragon. It's a video, my roommate and friend and I. Roommate and friend is one person, not two. You can be friends with your roommate. It's the year 2023. Get with the program, people. Be progressive. Relationships are changing. I think I needed to conclude that last point and tangent and story. Is basically, I give too many people a chance, and yet my guilt makes me feel like everyone deserves one, and yet it gets me into a hole. I don't deal with handing out rejection. That's no fun. Because these people could well be perfectly nice and good. It just, I feel what I feel. I am what I am. It's gonna be hard to approach me, I know. I'm very public facing. That's the word I'm gonna use. I'm a public facing ass bitch. And if you have the courage to try to court openly, I'm not talking about like, hey, can I rent a motel and see in person how long your tongue is? No. I'm talking, hey, can I take you out on a date? And of course not pressure you to fuck after that first date. And maybe not even in the second or third. Can I just sit across from you in a public space without shame and get to know you? And so everyone who is willing to extend me that baseline courtesy automatically gets a shot. And I realize I need to narrow my standards a little bit more. There you go. Okay, this is what I wanted to rant about. 24 minutes in, I talked about clounching and then ranted about rejecting people, which I hope I don't do too much of that, but it's on the top of my brain and I don't like feeling like this. I want everybody to find love and have a chance. I don't want to spoil that for anybody. You know? I don't know. But also, forget the toaster. Leave the toaster alone. Enough with the toaster. Fuck it, at this point, you know, I'm so hopeless in the dating landscape. I'll date the toaster. I'll do it. Okay, this is what I wanted to really rant about. This is what upsets me. This is what upsets Avagis. I want to be fun. I want to be a fun person in all situations. I want to be the funnest in all the land. Of course I do. And I've developed quite a natural personality, a natural charisma and charm, and ability to socialize and to, in spaces that aren't already prejudiced against me, I fit in pretty well. I can read a room. I can social vibe. I have a good little empathetic streak. I'm fun to talk to. I'm a fun hang, I think. That's what I'm told. But this is not me tooting my own horn. And I'm also a comedian who very much loves what she does and takes great care and effort and hopefully pays enough attention to the integrity of it. The art form. I'm obsessed with the art form. Maybe in some ways I have a purist streak. All this to say, I can't, and I just realized this now, I ranted about this maybe 50, 60 episodes ago. I cannot play Cards Against Humanity. I can't. Any version of games like that where the winner, the point is to be the funniest one, and yet all you get cards and you just pick the funniest combination, and in the end, depending on who you play with, if you play with normies, not comedians, then if you were lucky enough to draw the card that says, haha, and then his balls got sucked, or like, haha, and then a poop came out of his butt, there are trump cards. Basically any card that's like finger blasting. You just put a card down that just says finger blasting, and everyone goes, that's the one, that's the winner. I can't play Cards Against Humanity. I cannot. But also, this is partially why I hate it so much, is because I suck at it. I am so bad at Cards Against Humanity. And the other one that we played, the one that we played today at this Friendsgiving dinner with comedian friends, 3 other comics that I hung out with, and I was the worst one, easily, by far. I was terrible at it. And I always am. I'm always so bad at this game. I don't know what's missing. I don't get it. Listen, I have confidence in my ability as a comedian. My record speaks for itself. So it's not it's this weird special insecurity thing. It brings out this little insecurity in me where I'm like, I don't know if there is a small logical puzzle piece that is missing from my head, but I can't figure out how to win at Cards Against Humanity. I can't figure out what is funny about it. I hate doing it. The comedian in me hates taking lines that are already written and just going, this plus this. There's no creativity in that. If there is any, there's only a semblance, the tiniest bit of agency, artistic expression, and creativity is in just putting the things together, gluing them together, and then, you sit there in front of this makeshift audience where they're like, oh, I like the one about the poop. And you're like, if you had given me 5 minutes, I could have riffed on why I chose what I chose. I could have riffed something funny about the situation that I just built. I have a whole scene in my head. I have dialogue, but it never fucking, ugh. And it's the worst playing with people who aren't comedians, normies. And then when the truth comes out that I'm a comedian, get out of here. It's game over for me. Because now I have to, people think that Cards Against Humanity, and the one that we played today, what was it called? Joking Hazard by Cyanide and Happiness. Cyanide and Happiness, you know those comic panels? Really funny with the simple characters with the very simple design, round head, rectangular body, stick arms, and legs. You'll know what I'm talking about. Cyanide and Happiness, very popular. So it's like a picture version of Cards Against Humanity where like you just match. You match things, you mix and match until you create a punchline. And and playing with comedians is different because everything's funny. We're joking about everything. And eventually it became a joke that I couldn't win a fucking round to save my life. Because, and I sit there and I look at my hand and I'm like, none of this works. Like, it couldn't possibly be that I'm just unlucky all the time, but that's how it feels. Every time I play those games, I'm like, this hand is shit. I can't work with any of this. When do I get the card that says herpes all over my ball sack or whatever the stupid, dumb thing is, you know? When do I get, poop on my head and rub it into my hair? I hate those games. I'm so bad at them. And that's part of what pisses me off. I gotta be honest with myself. I already take issue with the what an insult to comedy it is. Purist me cannot have a good time with this game. And I know I'm taking it too seriously. Of course I am. This is not an affront to comedy as an art form. These games. And yet, I sit there and I'm like, this isn't fucking fun. I would rather be like writing a joke. I would rather be riffing. This is a poor substitute for engaging, humorous conversation. This is not fun. This is guided jokings. Guided joking. Guided joking is no fun. I get that it is for people who don't know how to do joking. This lets you this does the joking for you. And then you feel a sense of responsibility for being the one to execute, to glue these things together in a way that makes somebody go, huh. It's worth nothing. It's not worth a damn thing. And so today when I was playing, I was losing again. And it's always the worst. Just to finish that other point that I don't think I didn't tie that thread. Basically playing with people who find out that you're a comedian or know that you're a comedian going in, it creates this unfair standard that I have to be good at Cards Against Humanity. Bitch, this isn't what I do for a living. I don't go on stage and take the card, 9 things that I don't like about Santa Claus. He's got too much shit on his dick. And then everyone goes, ah! This is comedy. This is true comedy. It's Mad Libs. I cannot abide by Mad Libs. Okay, I'm probably laboring the point, but it upsets me in a funny way when I'm around the right people, like around other comedians. It just became that was part of the joke, and we can handle that. But around fucking normies, there is nothing more. I mean, comedians, we don't need to prove. This is an interesting thing about comedy. Like, you tell somebody you're a comedian, and it is one of the very few jobs in which people will be like, prove it right here, right now, do it. Tell me a joke, prove it. And there's this power dynamic that they create in which I now have to. You're wielding something above me. You're lording something over me that I have to prove my worthiness. I'm having my whole career audited in the corner of the kitchen at a house party just because and they always fold their arms and they get all defensive and they harden up. They're like, oh, I'm not ready to laugh. They're never ready to laugh. Tell me a joke. That's the worst. And so, that's what that game becomes. I suddenly am more scrutinized than everybody else at this table because they think that because I'm good at crafting fucking material with callbacks and with through lines, 45-minute long sets. Oh, she can headline a show. She must be really good at Cards Against Humanity. Fuck you! Get out of here! I hate it. If I never have to play that game again, it will be too soon. But whatever. I'm a woman of the people, and I play the games that, I go along with the group and I take my lumps. But I have played Cards Against Humanity before with a new group. At that point it's game over. Every time I do that with a new group of people, I'm like, I'm never going to be friends with these people. It's over. I've ruined it. They've ruined it. This has ruined it. Cards Against Humanity has ruined any opportunity for me to bond with any of these people. It's over. I wish I could do a tight 5 on every single contribution every time I put whatever cards down. I wish when they pick the winner I could go, wait, hold on. No, trust me, this is why mine is the funniest, is because of this situation that I thought of in my head. And if you give me like 5 to 10 minutes to explain, I can totally explain. So it starts out with like a hillbilly guy. He's like on his front porch with a banjo. I know that doesn't say anything on the cards, but trust me, that's like the backstory. That just sort of informs. I give them a whole character arc. I just, I'm thinking, man, I'm on another wavelength. No, I'm not going to say that sort of pompous shit. I'm not going to claim I'm superior in any way. I don't think I am. I think Cards Against Humanity is so different from what I do. And I just don't have fun with it. But I've learned to embrace, it's one of those things, I've learned to embrace how not fun it is. And, it's still not fun. unless I play it with somebody who knows how deep my disdain for the game runs. And then it becomes funny again, because at least at least I have this person with me on this journey. So anyways, I think I covered it. I know I've spoken about it before, but you get me all riled up. I think about it, and I need to talk about it. Cards Against Humanity fucking sucks. It truly is against humanity. My humanity. As a comedian, as a joke writer, it offends all my sensibilities. Okay, I'll move on. This is an interesting thing. Let me tell you a little something about... There is a guy I know. It won't make a difference if I tell you that he's a comedian. I won't give you any other details, but he's a comedian. I don't think he's professional yet. You might see why, but he drunkenly the other night told me that he thinks he's a genius. So right away, anyone who says that automatically disqualifies themselves from contention. Once you've referred to yourself as a genius, or even uttered the words like, I suspect that I'm a genius, oh boy, you lack the self-reflection to qualify. Because I think any genius would at least have enough self-awareness to know how much they don't know. And I think geniuses, I think that tends to feel like it's something you need. It's a quality you need to have as a genius to know how little you know. To know how much there is out there that is yet to be known to you, to humanity, mostly to you. Being a genius is an ever pursuit of knowledge. And to think that you're I don't know. Anyways, please listen. This goes for like most things. Anybody, you think of some examples, trust me. Think back to a time somebody called themselves a genius, unironically, in your presence. Were they? Were they? Doubt it. Think of the time somebody called themselves an empath. Were they? Doubt it. Those people are never as empathetic. Those people often have the least amount of empathy. The ones who are like, I'm an empath. No. You just have a lot of crystals in your room. You just put a lot of crystals by the window and you think that makes you an empath. A lot of people think empathy is some telepathic ability. Some people think empathy is telepathy. Morons. Fools. So this guy who called himself a genius, he does this thing that I thought was such an interesting observation, where he's kind of an edgelord. Are you sensing a pattern here? He's a bit of an edgelord. He fancies himself a genius, probably because he finds himself so commonly ostracized for his opinions, for the things that he says. He belongs to that category of people who will claim, they're like, words don't matter. Everybody thinks words matter. We are the ones who give power to words. And then he will immediately turn around and call somebody a fatty or something like that and be like, hey, but words don't matter. Like, I tend to disagree. The entire the group, the circle of people who just heard you call somebody a fatty, we all tend to disagree. Maybe that doesn't make us geniuses. Maybe being a genius means you're impervious to fat phobia. I don't know. But impervious to insult in general. Oh, words don't matter, therefore I'm not precious about when people antagonize me. No. Often a lot of geniuses have egos. But that's neither here nor there. So, this is an interesting thing that I thought was just a very particularly funny habit that he would do. He would say a mean thing, this comedian. He would say a mean thing, and then go, just kidding, can you imagine? He said, I counted, in the conversation that I was there with him, he did this 6 times, where he would say something borderline rude or straight up rude, crossing into rudeness territory. I'm trying to even think of an example. And most of the time, it was just blatant homophobia. To be honest, he would drop the F slur all the time. And it'd be like, just kidding. Can you imagine if I said that, though? Like, yes, I can imagine you said that. You literally just did. It's not easy to imagine what happened fucking 2 seconds ago. What are you doing? You think, can you imagine is some magical spell you've just cast on the conversation retroactively to undo the cruel thing that you just said? How moronic is that? What kind of a genius is not aware that saying, can you imagine, undoes the stupid fucking asinine antagonistic thing that you just said to people? And then when they get mad, be like, oh, words don't matter. Your entire, not vocabulary, your entire method of conversation is insulated against criticism or critical thought, for that matter, self-reflection. Your entire system of communication is is protected by this false shield of, and of course you hide behind the whole "it was a joke" thing. Can you imagine? Is his "I'm just kidding," but you can't unsay things. That's not how it works. So I found that very interesting. But I think it's kind of funny that this guy is going through life saying the mean thing and going, "Can you imagine though?" to somebody's face after he just fucking emotionally punched them. Can you imagine? Oh yes, I can imagine very well. Very accurately. Maybe I have a perfect imagination. Maybe I'm an empath. Maybe I'm an empath because I can imagine perfectly if you said that. Yeah. Like with incredible accuracy and detail. With incredible you were wearing that exact shirt. You were standing right there. I was standing here. You called me a big fat fatty in front of 3 of my friends. I can imagine that. I can imagine you doing something like that. Wild. This is like a deeper... I am, a lot of my self-deprecating humor... A lot of self-deprecating humor in general, I feel pretty confident that I can speak on behalf of a lot of people who employ self-deprecating humor as a defense against, like, once you've punched inward, you can't be hurt by someone else wielding the same insult. Once I've commented something about myself, you can't say the same thing and have it have the same effect because I've beaten you to it. And I've already shown you that I'm aware of this shortcoming. So, in essence, I've disarmed you as well. Because if you were to also say the same thing, now you're a shit ass, now you're dogpiling me, now you're kind of an asshole. So it's a very effective... Self-deprecating humor is such an effective way of disarming conversation, relaxing people, but also to protect yourself from harm. Fuck, where was I going with this? Okay, ugh. Fuck. I had a deeper point. But, I think I wanted to make some point about blind spots. And basically... you know, I like to think that I am especially self-reflective, maybe to the point of cripplingly self-reflective, where I so overanalyze the things I think and do that I get paralyzed into inaction or indecision, big time. And it also translates into a perfectionism, this heightened awareness of what I'm doing wrong, where I could potentially go wrong. So I know that I overemploy this tactic to, like, punch inward before anybody else can. And I want to grow beyond that because I don't think it's particularly healthy. I think it serves a purpose, always has. And I'm grateful that I've developed it as a skill. But I think I need to outgrow it, you know? And yet, I'm just worried about blind spots. I think, fuck, man, there was a point in my head that flashed, and I was like, ooh, yes, let's dig. Let's dig deep into my soul. And I lost my way. Sometimes when I try to dig deep into my soul, I'm like a mole. I'm trying to dig into my mole soul. And I'm scratching away, and I'm digging, and sometimes I have an internal compass. I have an instinct, a mole's instinct, that I'm like, that's where I'm gonna make my den. That's where the treasure is. Okay, let's say I'm a mole just hunting for treasure. Okay, just bear with me. And I'm like, vaguely know through my whiskers. However moles know where they're going when they're underground. That's a flash of an idea in my head where I go, this is the direction. And then don't moles ever get lost sometimes when they're digging around? They're like, well, he looks back at his wife. He's like, I don't know where the fuck we are. So that's what happens to me sometimes. I have an idea and I'm like, ooh, that's good. It'll take you a while to get there. You're going to need to explain yourself a bit along the way. And then, memory guess, it's gone. So I don't know. I don't know what my point was. I think the point I wanted to make was about blind spots. And I just worry about my blind spots. I want to be self-aware enough that I'm not forgetting something about myself, or I'm not like neglecting this obvious hindrance to my growth, this obvious bad habit, shitty habit that hurts people, or just makes things less of a good time. You know? The habit of going, can you imagine, is a blind spot to this guy. I pointed it out to him. I don't think he internalized it at all. He was like, I don't know, I don't remember what he said, but he probably said something to the effect of, hey, you're a tranny. Can you imagine if I said that to you? Oh yeah, I think I can wrap my head around that. I don't need to be Dr. Seuss to fathom a reality in which you called me the T-slur. Anyways, yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm covering my bases, or I am at least reflecting deeply enough to be able to notice some pattern, some kind of habit that is holding me back or hurting the people around me, you know? And I wish that upon us all, a level of self-criticism and reflection, not to the level of, not to the point of debilitating, you know, not to the point that it handcuffs you, but enough that you grow and you challenge yourself. I want you people out there to challenge yourselves. How's that? We're going to end on that. I want pierogies. I'm going to go make some food. My stomach has been hurting all day. I think it was the wine. I just kept sipping on wine. Red wine, it made my teeth all red. But I kept sipping. And it hurt my tum-tum. And I had a stomach ache all day, and now it's gone, and now I kind of want pierogies. So I'm going to go and make those, and I'm going to have them. And I might have a grilled cheese, although my stomach hurt all day. So I probably shouldn't have dairy, or I just probably shouldn't eat cheese and bread. I should probably make a salad. 2 fistfuls of greens with every meal. That's the Avagus way. Did you know that? Some people say, Avagus, how do you stay so trim? How do you stay so healthy? Lots of greens with every meal. I say 2 fistfuls, but, you know, I don't measure that shit. I eat until I'm full. I'm not a calorie counter. I don't obsess over that stuff because I see people who do, and it does not look fun. It does not look productive. It really doesn't. I don't know anyone who's healthy who meticulously counts their calories. Girl, you don't have to worry about that shit. Use your instincts. Use your guts. Should I have this 8th bowl of pasta? I don't know. Use your discretion. You know? Should I have this chicken breast with a side of rice and broccoli? That sounds pretty well balanced to me. It sounds like you won't blow chunks out your ass or balloon into a fucking house if you have that chicken and rice with broccoli. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I'm speaking from privilege. Maybe my body digests chicken and rice and broccoli different from yours. but anyways, don't count calories. The people who do, first of all, you're insufferable. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. Here we go, mean guess. Can you imagine if I said that? Can you imagine if I called people who count calories insufferable? I hate to say it, but it's true. Shut the fuck up. Keep it to yourself if you have to. I don't care. I don't care. You bum everybody else out. People who are like, oh, and then I had a carrot and that was 45 calories. and then I looked at a muffin and that was 6 calories. Shut the fuck up. You're stressing us all out. Stop it. Keep it to yourself. It's not healthy. You know, maybe when you have a double Big Mac supersized meal, maybe be mindful of how many calories you are ballpark intaking. I think it's healthy to know vaguely what's high in calorie and what isn't. Okay. But when you're like, yesterday I had 1,236 calories, I'm like, don't put that on me. Leave me out of it. Ugh. Anyways, have fistfuls of greens. You can't go wrong with greens, bitch. Eat lots of greens. That's how I stay trim. Eat lots of greens. Have a little bit of protein with every meal. Have a little bit of carbs with every meal. And that's that. Privilege gifts, I know. If you have an eating disorder, I am not addressing this to you. I apologize. I hope you can find some peace and some balance. I hope you can figure it out. Just don't rope me into it. That's all. Don't do your calorie counting around me. You're gonna give me an eating disorder. You know? Anyways, I hope you're all good. I hope you're all healthy, sincerely. Yeah, just treat yourselves with kindness and don't fucking body shame. All our bodies are beautiful. Except the fatties. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I said that? Can you imagine? Okay, but I am seriously kidding about that. As you guys can, if you've been listening maybe 10 episodes ago, yeah, I may or may not have had a producer, a short phase in my PodGis career in which I had a producer who spoke very unfavorably towards the obese. And, you know, PodGis is no longer about that. It never was. But she tolerated a bit too much. And for that, I take full ownership. I apologize. But y'all are all cool. Everybody's cool. All bodies are beautiful. Take care of yours. Don't put so much pressure on it. Anyways, what the fuck am I talking about? And also, don't play Cards Against Humanity with me. I hate that game. I hate that game. Fuck Cards Against Humanity. That's all I'm saying about that. That's all I have to say about that. Alright, this was fun. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving! I forgot to even really go into that, but like, whatever. It's Canadian Thanksgiving, so hang up your moose and pat your beaver on the head. And give thanks to the goddess of maple. May your maple trees grow strong, and may the syrup pour out the dick hole of your maple tree. And may your Tim Hortons be extra double. May you keep your stick on the ice, boys. Sticks on the ice, boys. Okay, thanks guys. That was PodGis. We'll see you next week. Have a good time out there.